We're almost halfway through the year, and a lot of people are running on empty without fully realizing it. Grow Therapy helps you find care that's covered by insurance before burnout becomes the baseline. Whether it's your first time in therapy or your 50th, Grow makes it easier to find a therapist who fits you, not the other way around. They connect you with thousands of independent licensed therapists across the U.S., offering both virtual and in-person sessions, nights and weekends. You can search by what matters, like insurance, specialty, identity, or availability, and get started in as little as 2 days. And if something comes up, you can cancel up to 24 hours in advance at no cost. There are no subscriptions, no long-term commitments. You just pay per session. Grow helps you find therapy on your time. Whatever challenges you're facing, Grow Therapy is here to help. Grow accepts over 100 insurance plans, including Medicaid in some states. Sessions average about $21 with insurance, and some pay as little as $0 depending on their plan. Visit growtherapy.com/booknow to get started. That's growtherapy.com/booknow. growtherapy.com/booknow. Availability and coverage vary by state and insurance plan.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Inside Out Smile. I'm your host, Dr. Amber Q, and today I'd like to tell you about something that happened a little bit earlier on. So I had gone to my favourite restaurant to pick up a takeaway, and it's Bank Holiday Monday here in the UK, and I thought to myself, oh, do you know, I need to do a few things, so I'm going to have a takeaway. And so what I did was I popped into my favourite place and I was in the queue. It's always busy because it's just so delicious there. And I saw an elderly lady with a frame. And I thought to myself, they were essentially looking at which table would be the best for her. And I thought to myself, well, the server really should say that the bathrooms are upstairs, and if she needs a bathroom visit, it's going to be a problem. But almost immediately, so this lady was with her family, and the son took the frame, he folded the frame, and he took it away, and presumably he was going to put it in the car or at the side. And then the lady was trying to get up the stairs, so she obviously either wanted to go to the bathroom or she just wanted to wash her hands. You know, she wanted to go for some reason, and she, of course, she couldn't do the stairs. And her family member, I think, was trying to say, I'm not sure what they do at home because, and maybe she's in a flat, but a couple of people came up to sort of say, oh, you know, can we help? But obviously they wouldn't be able to help unless they were going to carry her up the stairs, literally. And I turned my head as I was in the queue because I'd already had that immediate thought that, oh, she's not going to be able to visit the bathroom. And as I think she was just on the first step or something. So I then said to, I think, one of the family members that they should visit the restaurant that was literally opposite, and is actually my second favourite, and that they had bathrooms that were on the ground level because I'd had a lovely breakfast several months ago, actually it must have been a year ago, with another friend, where we just had the best breakfast, you know. We just sat and ate and talked. It was really, really lovely. And I'm not sure if they took my advice, but anyway, as I turned back, I realised that two different people had jumped ahead of me in the queue. Now, it may have been that they didn't realise as my face was turned the other way. Maybe they thought that I had been served, but the reality is that, that if I was in the queue, I would, and it isn't really a queue, so it's a little bit confusing. Everyone's just standing, you know, by the food display, I guess. And it's interesting, isn't it? Because you see, if I'm in that position, I always check and say to somebody, have you been served? To make sure that they have been served, I'm not jumping the queue, and that they're just waiting for their food. So they may have thought that, and there were two servers, so the other person was being served by the other server. And I just thought, isn't that interesting? They didn't ask, and the server didn't check with me either. And I thought to myself, it's a good thing that I'm not in a rush, And it's a good thing that I'm emotionally stable, because then I waited, but I did actually mention it to the server and he was very apologetic. And I said, no, it's fine. But I was just thinking to myself, this is just part of the reason why we are having, I think, issues in the world, because everybody feels that they are, I don't know, I don't want to use the word entitled, but I feel that everyone is just so used to instantaneous gratification. It's not helped by delivery drivers. I'm not going to use sort of specific names because I know people are listening from all over the world, and I must do an episode on that because that is very exciting for me. But the thing is that I think the real point is that we're living in an age where everyone wants everything now, because we have been conditioned to do that. And I would say fake urgency, right? Because unless it's a medical emergency or a life and death situation, which essentially is a medical emergency, that, that's not urgent, right? So, I mean, that's the only thing that's urgent. So basically anything else, unless there are real consequences, it's, this fake urgency that we have day to day makes us less present, less considerate, and I don't know, but whether we realize it or not, less kind. And I think that these small moments of thoughtlessness ripple outward, and, and it affects real people. The good news, though, is that kindness does the same. So for every conscious choice we make to slow down, look up, and consider the person next to us, in front of us, at our side, sends a ripple in the other direction. And this is why I think it's really vital for us to look at ourselves. So many people say that, hey, I want the world to be a better place. But it really does start with us. And I say this to myself every day because, in a sense, we can't change other people's behavior. We can only change our own behavior. But the irony is that in changing our behavior, other people's behavior will change. Such a beautiful paradox. I should caveat that by saying people only change if they want to change. Now, you may have also noticed that the artwork has changed for the podcast, and this is because I just feel that I've evolved. When I started the podcast in 2020 during COVID, I was just looking for the artwork to pop and to be noticed. And although, hey, this is not a big podcast by any means, by any stretch of the imagination, I do feel quite humbled that I have listeners all over the world. And there's so many things that I want to say. Just, oh my gosh, honestly, there's so much that I want to say. And so I just thought that my messages would be better, I think, enveloped by the new artwork. So I hope you like it. It's essentially kind of in my brand colours. So, yep. I hope you like the new look. And until the next episode, let's all create connection and not just change lives, but save lives.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/zip. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/zip. That's ZipRecruiter.com/zip. ZipRecruiter.com/zip.